So we're going back to the good old prison. You got your Chalice of the Void, you got your Blood Moon, you got your Ensnaring Bridges, your lock pieces. You get those down, your opponent basically doesn't get to play Magic anymore, and then you find your win condition either using Torch of Defiance or Awaken Inferno. You can help dig for these pieces using Seasoned Pyromancer and Maze Mind Tome. And then you have ramp using Simian Spirit Guides, Desperate Rituals, or Gemstone Caverns if you happen to be on the draw. For removal, we're packing 3 pieces of a braid, and that's it as far as creature removal. And then we've got Chandra, which can downtick both of them to kill things. And then we've just got a massive wish board for Karn. We've got 2 Angers in case we need board wipes. We've got 2 Torpor Orbs to stop ETB triggers, because those are always a problem. We've got Ballista and Wormcoil as threats to go grab off of Karn. We've got... that should be... yeah, I was gonna say, there should be 3 relics. Why is there only 1? Because I had 1 and then it put the other 2. So there's 3 relics as our graveyard interaction, and then 3 Dragon's Claws to help us try to gain a bit of life against mono red decks, and also because we're mono red, it'll gain us life back. And then 1 bridge to grab off of Karn, and of course liquid metal coating to shut off our opponent's lands and land destroy them. That's the basic rundown. Let's go ahead and hop into some matches. Thank you very much for the follow, Mr. Fluffy Wolf 2. How's your night been? You're good. That was quick. Onwards to match 1. It be going. Good to hear. We won the die roll. Let's go. Alright, so either turn 2 bridge or turn 3 Chandra or Karn. Yep. I think this hand's good enough to keep. We'll find out if I'm wrong. Because we can lead off on these scries. Alright. We don't want that. Well, bottom. And pass the turn. Cavern of Souls. Goblin. Okay. And then Vile. Okay, so we're facing goblins here. That's awkward, but not terrible for us. Let's go ahead and scry and see if we can't get this other red pip. Pyromancer would allow us to dig. I don't think we need to be digging at the moment, but we'll keep it on top for now. Next turn we can Chandra if they don't do much. If they do a decent amount, we can bridge. Bridge doesn't seem great. Well, there's a Snoop, so if the Snoop's coming down, we're definitely killing it using Chandra. Yep. No! That means that people might actually be watching now. I don't typically play Prison. I'm just on Prison tonight. So we will Mountain, Exile, get down Chandra, down tick to kill Snoop. The problem is, if this gets killed, we now have double. We won't have double red. Okay, so they can sacrifice their Snoop if they so please. They do. To then Tarfire. Not a bad blind. So we now don't have our double red pips for these Pyromancer or the Awakened Inferno. We need to draw a mountain. We've got 14 of those left in the deck. So not impossible. Also good to know that this is the Prospector list. And not a... Because there are some lists that run Prospector, some lists that run Thoughtseize type stuff instead. Yeah, that's what I was like. We've got the Abrades for our removal, and then like Chandra's. That's our removal package. So here comes Matron. Fun. Yeah. So Matron's gonna reveal Ringleader. Okay, so they've swapped into the mid-range style now instead of Snoop. Problem is they could still just have it. If they have second Snoop in hand, they can vial that in at the end of turn and then snag us. And this Chalice does not buy us anything. Can't play Pyromancer. It's just... Bridge seems awful when we have this many cards in hand. But... I guess we could bridge. We could drop this Chalice on 0. However... I don't think the difference between 3 and 4 cards in hand for Prison is going to make the difference. Most of their stuff is 1/1s and 2/2s. Because now that that vial's off of 2, we could technically Chalice on 2. There's an uncounterable Ringleader. Let's see what they see. Okay. So they got Snoop, Snoop, and Harbinger. On the bright side, because they don't have the Haste Goblin, we can deal with the Snoops. Yeah, we take 4, go down to 15. And they're sacking for Snoop. And they're... That's all 4 of their Snoops. So it doesn't matter. They draw this Snoop, they play... I mean, we've lost. Right, because they have the Bogart in hand, we don't have interaction. Didn't get our 4th land. Bit unfortunate. So we would have done that, we would have scryed, we would have bottomed, we would have hit the Abrade. Yeah, we much dead. It's like Snoop 2 is right there, Snoop 3 is on top of the library, and Snoop 4 is in hand. And they've got the Bogart to make the combo work. So as far as what we're bringing in, I know I want at least a Torpor Orb. No, that doesn't stop it. That stops most of their goblins effects from the mid-range aspect, but it doesn't stop the combo. So we'll bring in 1. Shave on a Chalice. Blood Moon seems mediocre in this matchup. Angers seem all right. Definitely want to bring in the anger. I don't want to shave both orbs, walking and angers. Yeah, ballista makes sense. We want to get it down early more than have it as a Karn grab. Yeah. And again, yeah. Because of the Vial, Chalice seems like a pretty dead card in this matchup, so we're going to shave on all of them. That feels wrong, but I don't really see anything else that we want to be shaving on. And then like a Blood Moon effect here. Actually, it might be an Inferno. But that's kind of one of our win conditions. I don't want to take out a win con. 1 bridge, 1 to 2. Chandras and the Chalice. Okay. True. If you want to make the creepers fall faster, go to the top of the rocket. So that way you're not loading the slime farm. And then more creepers will spawn. Stops black. Yeah. We'll cut the bridge that's off. We need to cut 2 more. Shh. That's probably not correct. How do you prevent AFK? I mean... has the double red, but only has Chalice. We could Chalice on 1, turn 1. That stops Vial and Prospector. Is Vial and Prospector stoppage enough? Probably not. Perpetual motion. I mean, I just have an auto clicker that auto clicks once every like 5 seconds, and that keeps you active for the server. This we can keep. Bottoming a ritual. It's not a great. Chalice on 2 and try to get Karn out. Yeah. Auto clicking is cheating. It's cheating in that game too, but Fluffy will never know, right? So we can get this ballista down on 4 if we keep Monkey. I don't think we need Monkey. Bloodstain, they go fetching. There's nothing wrong with a proper gold farm. Ace Mine Tome, we can go ahead and scry. And bottom that. Well, yes, the 4th land is important. At the same time, we don't have anything to use the 4th land on right now. Okay. So that's probably munitions expert. Upkeep stop. Yeah, we want to be scrying. You right. We don't use this to draw. We use this as a scry. I really don't want to bottom our 4th land. At the same time, we need action. Well, there's our 4th land. Let's scry again. Maze Mine Tome. Then we could Ballista on 2. But we can do that next turn. So this file upticks, and now we have to worry about the end step snoop. Reveals Trash Master. I'm not surprised. So the issue is this sideboard doesn't have any 1-drops besides Relic. I'm going for the Bogart now. Okay, meaning they probably don't have Snoop, but they might have second Bogart. They get Crater Maker. Okay. Sorry that you can't sub on mobile. Yeah, I don't have the links set up. Okay, there's our scry. Second bridge we don't need, even though we know that they have the Crater Maker and the other dude. Blood Moon here is terrible because they have the basic swamp. I mean, I guess we could go empty-handed and then hope. Empty-handed, hope that they don't go infinite, and I don't know, is it better to preempt? Well, 5 cards in hand, 1's the Trash Master. Endlessly is playing this mountain. Yeah, I was like, that swamp is so good for them. So the issue, if we drop this Ballista on 1, we have no way. Well, they've got the Crater Maker. We just go empty-handed here. Yeah, it's... Prison is one of these decks where it's very much a love-hate relationship. Where it's great most of the time, and sometimes it just kind of does this. You just want more than what you can actually bring in. So let's see it. There's the Snoop. And now we just need to see second Bogart. That. Other goblins get +1/+1. Sacrifice a goblin, destroy target artifact. Sounds good. Second Bogart does it for him. Yep. So I could have destroyed the Bogart on 1, but they needed a second Bogart anyway to go make the top of their library this Kiki Jiki. Because now they go infinite. And assuming they aren't a terrible Magic player, they then copy Bogart as their last copy and put the other activated ability on top. And even though they can't attack because we have out Ensnaring Bridge, we die from the life drain. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's enough. Just waiting for them to copy a Bogart and put the other guy on top, and we will concede. Just making sure that they have it. Cool, they do indeed still have Slinging in their deck. And there we go, losing out to Goblins. Match 1. I don't disagree. All right, there's match 2. Let's get into it. We'll take the play. Like the double Awakened Inferno makes me want to ship this hand, but at the same time, we can pitch the Awakened Infernos to this Pyromancer if we can hit our 3rd land. The turn 2 Blood Moon's too tempting. Because we have a Scry to see if we can get a 3rd land, and then we go Mountain, SSG, Blood Moon. Hope opponent doesn't have. Oh yeah, we still have that stop on our upkeep. We'll do the Void, Scry, land? Any land will do it. That's not a land, but that's a good card. I still bottom it. Snow-covered swamp into the Inquis. Okay. I mean, what, you either take... Do you take SSG here to stop me from being able to mana ramp? No, they take the Blood Moon. Okay. So we drew that. It feels good. It does when you get to cast it. Red 1, Seasoned Pyromancer. We will pitch an Inferno and a Void. And we'll pitch both Infernos. Cool. So we get slightly punished there, but at the same time, we can now cast this other Pyromancer. And then an Inquisition. Thank you very much for the follow, Zachary. Or is it Sarukai, right? How you doing tonight? Fun. So they took the one card that they could, and then they have this. And then they bolt their Pyromancer. Sounds great. Gotta love... This is either Jund or red-black. Anyway, at this point, we're in top 10. Nice. You too, man. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, we'll keep that where it is. That sounds like a pretty good card to be drawing next turn. Roxas Skelemental Kitty. I mean, that's possible. They're totally allowed to backseat. But just because they say stuff doesn't mean I'm not gonna screw up. So watch, it's gonna be Swamp and let's see, double discard. Oh no, Liliana. That's fine. We're fine with Liliana. Sure, I'll discard this Void. I don't need this Scry. So we draw our Inferno. And play out Inferno. And let's exile. Well, we can't cast that card. So let's hit Lily. Just because I don't want Lily being around too long. Okay, they fetch. They find... So it is Jund. And they have their basics all covered. Now they're making a second elemental to play out second Liliana. Oh, Bloodbraid Cascade. Sure. Into Goy. Okay. Nice pun there, Zale. No, that's Shardless into Blighted Agent. Alright, and that's going at Chandra. Makes sense. We draw... Interesting. We've hit all of our voids. Scry Monkey on top. We can keep Monkey on top and just exile it with this Chandra, because we've got enough to do the Seasoned Pyromancer on their attack step. So we can protect Chandra for a turn here, or two, because we have the two Pyromancers. I don't know what that buys us. But hey, we'll find out. Why is Gentling Snowlands? I can see that as well. That seems like a not terrible play. It's just I knew one of the three bridges was already on the bottom. So the odds of us hitting a bridge are slim to none. Not slim to none. 2 in 44. Hey. So you obviously found a way to subscribe, but it didn't show up. So they have the bolt. That's unfortunate. Chandra dies anyway, and then we lose 2 elementals. Ah, channel points. Yes, those are a thing. So if we play out this Maze Mine for the additional scry, or just draw and block the Goy for a turn, we take 3. That doesn't seem bad. Because we can draw on their instep. So that way they can't dot seize. Okay, well, they have the push, so we're taking 9. Yeah. Scry's for when you're going turn 2 Maze Mine Tome. At this point, we need to find something. So we take the 9 like a champ. Try a bit on the inside. There are no more creatures. So when we exile this Seasoned Pyromancer next turn, possibly, to keep us alive. We'll be in good shape. Chalice. I want to go ahead and scry here. Or they'll... Sure. Well, there goes our scry. Ugh. So we have SSG. And that's a 7-8 at this point. Don't think we're going to be getting there against Jund, sadly. Because we can exile this to create blockers, reduce Goyf back down to a 6-7. Yeah, K-Command was just about perfect for him there. They're in top deck mode, but sadly they've got a board state that we just can't beat until we find bridge. But if we can find bridge, that won't do it. So we have one turn. Well, we can play out monkey. We can play out monkey and jump block. This is not just a mana card. Yes, playing monkey will grow the Goyf. Jund just has it all. Sometimes. We go down to 1. And bridge off the top. Or they'll have the bolt. All right. Okay. So it's Jund. I know we definitely want some number of these relics to come in. They have a lot on 2. Everything else we kind of just want in there for the package of Karn. So we can take out 2 Chalice because hopefully we'll find Karn into the Chalice. Awakened Inferno is pretty hard for us to cast in this matchup, but it's still something I don't think we board out. Dragon's Claw's an option, but I don't think that's what we want to be doing. And then while Anger of the Gods is good, a vast majority of their creatures, mainly because they mainly run Bloodbraid Elf, Armorgoyf, and Kroxa, 2 of those 3 most of the time are past anger mana, or are past the anger damage, so that doesn't seem worthwhile. So we'll run it like so and see how we do. I'll take the play. This is a... I don't know. It's not a turn 2 Chalice on 2. It's a turn 3 potential Karn. The problem is turn 3 Karn gonna be good enough in versus Jund? It should be. because we can then use that to get a bridge. This deck takes a lot more thought than I remember it taking. Yeah, that means I've gotten worse at playing the deck, or I've just gotten worse at playing Magic in general. Well, there's the Inquisition, so they can either take the Maze Mind Tome, the Ritual to stop us from getting the turn 3 card, or the Chalice if they're scared of Chalice. But okay, they don't like Chalice. Good to know. Go ahead and play out this Maze Mind Tome. We will scry. We see Monkey. We'll keep that on top, so that way even if they take this Ritual, we can still turn 3 Karn. Would you look at that? Don't have the ink. Okay, well I can see why that they took Chalice. We no longer need the card that's on top. At least try to cut them off of green. Now have to naturally find their forest. I don't know how many they run. It's probably only 1 or 2. We'll just take the natural draw here, because we can also do this. Draw a card. Draws ourselves just more ritual effects. Okay. So they don't have double black. They don't have green. They now have green. So what's coming down? Goyf? Okay. Go ahead, gain 4 and draw. Okay. Draw for the turn. That's not great. Actually, we could wait a turn and cast that next turn. We can take 4 here. We just gained 4. Ship it back to him. Hope they don't have Thoughtseize. Not bad. So we can even hold on to this ritual. So Planeswalker's already in the yard. An instant's already in the yard. So Goyf cannot grow past this 5? Yes. Unless they have some way to destroy Blood Moon. Okay, and that exiled the Goyf. Looks like Blood Moon's putting in work. Give our opponent an emblem here. And let's dig a bit deeper. The land pass. I want to hold the monkey because we don't need to play it. Scoos. Okay. I mean, so this is an exile effect as part of its cost. So even if we go to activate, or if they swing with Scoos, we can activate. Always yield. Take opponent down. Okie doke. Blood Moon probably doing a lot more work than we're giving it credit for there. We saw the Scoos, so we know relics are good. I still want to keep one in the board as a Karn target. Even though we haven't, like, the one time we've seen Karn, it's been ripped out of our hand. We'll run it back. Thank you very much for the follow, D20 Bandit. How you doing tonight? So many familiar names. So this hand is Thoughtseize proof. I still don't think we keep it though. Seems a bit too heavy on mana. Hand's not much different, but we'll try it. I'd imagine fishing from that top of Fireworks hard Zale. There's the Inquisition eating up one of our two Pyromancers. Hope they don't have the second one. That's the problem with Jund. Is it doesn't really matter what you keep, because they're just gonna tear apart your hand most of the time anyway. So I'm assuming that's probably a basic forest. Yep. And there's the 3/4 Goyf. Pretty impressive. On turn 2. Okay. Here's that. We ship it back. We can pitch Creator and a Braid. Problem is that does grow the Goyf. Or we could just play a Karn. Down tick, say yes. Go grab Bridge. Not great, but if they kill Karn, Goyf will definitely be too big to attack. Unless, of course, they're holding up Kolaghan's command. Get Cunning and Braid his Metal Goyf. That's an option. Okay, this is fine. Each player discards a card. Sure, we'll discard this Abrade. We draw Blood Moon. We could shut them off of double black. I think it's bridge first, though. See if they have the K command. Each player discards a card. We'll go ahead and discard Karn here. No Colligans. That's good for us. We draw Awakened Inferno. We'll play out a Blood Moon. It shuts them off of double black. I don't know what they have besides the Lily that we're scared of double black here. But so we're going to be pitching Awakened Inferno here. Brennan 6. Yep. They can get all those lands back. Or they're going to be picking up a land and discarding a land every turn. Seems pretty good. Interesting that they pitched second Forest. So we draw our land. I mean, we go ahead and we play this out. And draw 2. Okay. This is fine. No, it's not. Because we don't have anything on 1 that can answer this Lily. So there's the Terminate. So Lily upticks. We go ahead and we pitch Karn here. Just because Chandra's the stronger of the 2 planeswalkers. So their piles are definitely going to be bridge and everything else. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Bridge and everything else. Moon Bridge. Why would I not take the 2 lock pieces here? Why would you give me 2 lock pieces here? Well, there's the bridge. So we made the wrong choice. Feels good. Uh. It's not the wrong choice. It was the right choice originally. You're right. Chalice on 0? Is it worth it? Nah. Inquisitions. Sure, take your pick. You now have me in top deck mode, opponent. Woo! First land, let's go. See, the worst part is we're still in this game until opponent has a way to deal with bridge. Well, there's an emblem. They now have retrace. So they just need to find something. Okay, there's a bolt, which they'll be able to retrace a couple of times. So that'll do it. They can retrace it twice a turn until they run out of lands in their hand that they've been storing. Okay, that's a Scooz. I can eat a Pyromancer. Again, I don't think you should be upticking Lily. Neat. Because the issue is a second Lily doesn't buy you anything. So the last card in hand is a land. Okay, so they can now hit us with... Yeah. That's... I mean, that's not nothing, so thanks for what you've done. So they've got one retrace plus this next one. This will not win us the game. So we are dead. I just want to see what the top of our library is. It's a land. Cool. Because they've got land in hand, they retrace, they uptick, they retrace. And starting off 0-2 with Prison. All right. Match 3. Let's go. Browser brightness. I don't think it's browser brightness, but I don't know. Turn 2 Chalice on 1, turn 3 Blood Moon. This seems keepable in the blind. It's not doing much in terms of ramp, but who needs to ramp? Spire Bluff Pass. That has me concerned for Storm. X on 1 isn't great against Storm. But if it's blue-red prowess instead, Chalice on 1 is pretty good. All right, opponent, what we gonna do? Red bolts us in response. All right. Makes me definitely think it's blue-red prowess since they threw a bolt at our face. So this Blood Moon to shut them off of blue seems pretty good. Can we get Sprite Dragon? Manamorphose for red and blue into Stormwing Entity. Okay. Not bad. So they put one card on top. Has me a bit concerned here. Blood Moon. Then we shall pass the turn here. They are now mono red prowess. So let's see, we could Karn. Go get could Karn get bridge? They grow this to a 5/5 and hit us for 5. Light up the stage. Okay. Two uncastable cards off light up the stage. Blood Moon and Chalice doing work. Chalice on 2's tempting. However, I like Karn go get bridge and then hide underneath the bridge. Because there's nothing they can potentially... They could draw land and 3 1-mana spells, which would all get counted and hit us for 6. You have a deck list? It's just the Jangles list that's posted in the Pyro Prison under Red Prison list. That's just the list that I grabbed. It's the most recent Jangles 5.0. Yeah. Assuming that's Killing Karn, it is. And then we draw a Braid. So we can ensnaring bridge and then chalice on 0. Make it so they have to instant speed. Most of their stuff's instant speed anyway. There's no point. We'll just take as much damage. Of course, we get punished the one time that it's a lava spike. That's fine. We'll go down to 8. That's pretty good. That deal 3 damage there. See if they want to throw a pump spell to keep it alive. They don't. We don't have 2 cards that we want to discard. So let's play out this second chalice on 1. Just so that way they can't kill a chalice on 1 using an abrade and then try to kill us with burn. Land? Awakened Inferno. And going up. So we're pretty safe here. Like, what we lose to is triple skewer the critic. Or rift bolts. We lose to those too. Go ahead and give them an emblem. Play out Pyromancer, draw ourselves 2 cards. Maze Mind Tome. We'll wait and draw a card on their instep. So we take 3 here. If they have skewers, we lose. Because I'm assuming this Rift Bolt's just going to be going at our face. Yep. We go down to 5. They go down to 15. Two red. It's funny, if we rip another chalice here, we go chalice on 3. This makes me think that they have a braid and they're debating what they want to blow up between the bridge or like Maze Mind Tome. Anamorphose, they're drawing cards, sure. I guess that way they could go blue and red. Get like Sprite Dragon. Or another Stormwing entity. Stormwing entity wouldn't do it. I guess if they have Sprite Dragon, it has haste, so they just get us for 1. See the truth. Okay. We don't get to see what they're looking at. So once they do this, we'll then have Instep Maze Mine Tome. Okay. So we draw off of Maze Mine Tome and be Blood Moon. We could scry. I think we'd actually just take the blind draw. It'd be another bridge. 1, 2, 3, Blood Moon, 1, 2, 3, bridge. Be empty handed. And they'd have 3. We draw 2 more. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So versus blue red prowess, anger comes in. Dragon's claws come in. As far as what comes out, some number of Torch of Defiance, a Awakened Inferno, probably a Maze Mind Tome, and then Blood Moon shuts them off of their blue. Like, I don't believe they run any basics, so I don't want to shave too many of the Blood Moon. I think that's what we do here. Hopefully we get a hand with a Gemstone Cavern and we can ramp out a bit. I'd really love a hand with like Gemstone Cavern and Chalice. Just go Chalice on 1 turn 1 best turn. Have that into something like Dragon's Claw. I mean, it's got single target removal, it's got anger for removal, it's got a Blood Moon. It's missing a bit, but at the same time, it should be good enough. Keyword is should. Doesn't mean that it will be. They could have a great start. Sorry for yawning. I know that those things are contagious. Okay, Spire Bluff pass. Can we get a monkey? Monkey off the top. Turn 1 Blood Moon. I do that way too often. Like, yeah, no, we don't do anything because we don't have a chalice to follow this up. At the same time, he's playing White Borders, let him win. We're playing White Borders too, though. You see this Blood Moon? Play the monkey. This monkey shall go beat down mode. If you're using lava dart to kill my monkey, that's fine by me. Look, they're no longer playing white borders. There are no white borders on their side of the field. There's a swift spear. You're not wrong. He did indeed have 2 other mountains. And they bolt us. All right. So they tap out, meaning we can go for the Abrade here over the Anger, which is fantastic for us. Hopefully we draw like Torch of Defiance, so that we can go Torch, uptick for mana, Abrade. We don't, however. So this will just be Abrade, deal 3. Pass the turn. So the burn player is down to 1 card in hand. Well, yes, they can still eventually kill us. We've got plenty of time to find an answer. Like that, for example. I can't cast that Blood Moon. Manamorphose? Dragon's Claw. Sure. Uptick hitting Mountain. It's worth it for them to gain the 1 life here, because we get to pitch both of these, draw 2 more cards. Yes, we lose out on the Anger, but and that just about seals our opponent's fate. Emblem is 7. So we could Karn on 1. Or Karn, go get Chalice. Chalice on 1. Oh no, we didn't board out any of the Chalices. Let's first see what we hit. We hit a Karn the Great Creator. I would not like to cast that since we already have 1 in hand. Let's move to combat. Hit him for 4. So if we play out Creator, we could downtick, go get something like Worm or Ballista or Spyglass. We'll downtick and go get something relatively small. We'll just get Ballista and pass. Because they have to deal with this Chandra first. Light up the stage, they gain 1. Sure. Sprite Dragon Manamorphose. Alright. So if they were getting a next turn, we know what their next turn would be. Emblem, down tick. Yes. Doesn't matter. Relic, Chandra. Undo that last tap and get this for 2. Hit opponent. And now we don't even need to go to combat. There we go. We got the win against Blue-Red Prowess. Blood Moon doing work there, I'm assuming. So we're gonna draw land. Land. That was gonna be quite a bit of land. All right, let's see if we can't make half our money back. All right, match number 4. Let's hop into it. Okay, we finally did not get the die roll. Huh. Is Chalice on 1 into bridge good enough? If we had the ramp to make it quicker for the Chalice, it'd definitely be yes. I still think the answer is yes. Because we also have this scry off the void. Of the scry, we have double red pip. Before this is something like Tron. Oh, okay. Alright, scry, we want action. That's not action. Well, I say we want action. That's blue-white. Do we keep the land so that way we have a relatively... Yes, we keep the land. That way we have a relatively strong chance of hitting this Awakened Inferno. On curve. Unless this is like Ad Nauseam that's playing Hollowed Fountain. But my guess is it's blue-white control. Which means Chalice on 1's not terrible against them. But it's not phenomenal. Let's see this mana leak. No mana leak. Ad Nauseam. Field of Ruin, so they could field our Void. Instead, they play Teferi. And now they can... Okay. So they'll be able to bounce our bridge. Bridge isn't relevant in this matchup until they need it gone. We have Maze Mind, Maze Mind to draw. We could try to land this Chalice on 2. I don't think it's going to stick. I mean, then we couldn't play out the Maze Mind, but then they couldn't mana leak or... So, like... Chalice on 2 stops Snap, stops Stoneforge, stops mana leak, stops Logic Knot. No, it doesn't stop Logic Knot. Stops a good chunk of their deck. However, we need action. So we go Maze Mind pass here. They field the void. We'll float one. Who would have guessed the mono red deck has basic mountains to go grab? Okay. So this is Bant, not just blue-white. Is this Bant? So they're bouncing the bridge. Sure. Meaning they want to try to counter this bridge when it comes back down. Funnily enough for them, this bridge isn't coming back down anytime soon. Big Chandra. Aether Gust me, opponent. Do it. We could have killed Teferi there, but we don't really play at instant speed anyway. I'd rather get them a clock. Exactly. So there's a breeding pool. Shocks it in. Ice Fang. Sure. Ice Fang into Ice Fang. You know, this -3 is about to look real nice. So they fetch with Flooded Strand, get Temple Garden, shocks in Temple Garden. There's the good old Titan. And there's the mana for countering the first Ensnaring Bridge. Funnily enough, we don't kill these Ice Fangs because that enables Uro. Although I guess Uro's technically already going to be enabled. So we'll uptick here. Hit down a bridge. I'm assuming this is probably counter bounce. And counter draw, sure. Bridge number 2. Okay, and then Scry. We like that card. Awaken Inferno, hitting them for 2. Not bad, 1-2, and we're facing control. This is game 1. We've got a Chalice on 1 and bridge. They're bouncing bridge, however. So this plus what? Escaping an Uro? Green, green, blue, blue. Hold up cryptic mana. Sounds good, Mr. Opponent. Have an arrow. She'll gain 3. So this is 2 at Chandra. Funnily enough, we might down tick Chandra to kill Uro here. Because Uro or Chandra's gonna be dying anyway next turn. And this will exile. I mean, if they cryptic bounce, that's fine, because now we can hit bridge. And plus, they then have to recast, get cards into their yard, and play arrow. We don't need to... We could go Karn the Great Creator here, couldn't we? Karn, go get Relic. That doesn't seem bad. I fear the island. Yeah. Is not dead, Karn. Oh. It is dead, Karn. Chalice. You right. Maze attack to fairy play bridge. That is the correct line. Forgot that we had a chalice on one. I done screwed up. So they Uro, they gain 3. We can up our own chalice to then play relic. Problem is, at this point, they probably have cryptic. Yeah, I done goofed. Fluffy's line is better. That's why he is the prison master. Both at the Karn, which is fine. We weren't planning on doing anything with that Karn anyway. Uptick on our chalice to get rid of chalice. Void, scry. Find ourselves a gemstone cavern, put that on bottom. Bridge first, see if this resolves. I'm assuming it doesn't. They have 7 cards in hand. Snap cryptic. Okay. If they go this route, they then have no cards left in yard. If we go for this relic and it resolves. So we now get to just exile a card from their yard. And then we could Chalice on 2. What does Chalice on 2 buy us? Stops more Ice Fangs, stops more Snapcasters. This Karn's dying. Is Chalice on 1 better than Chalice on 2? Chalice on 1 stops Ops. Because they can't bounce our relic yet. And we'll have mana open if we need to. So we can pop it for the additional draw. What? Uro number 2? Yep. So they'll gain 3 and put a land into play, and then they can field. So that way we can't just use Relic multiple times. Hardcast Batterskull. Okay. So this is definitely just Bant control. Blood Moon's looking real nice here. Sadly, we apparently can't find it. So 2-it Karn, 2-it us. Karn dies. We now need to find one of our other 2 bridges, right? Because we got a bridge from the sideboard. Nope, our other 1 bridge. Okay. We have all the mana in the world. Opponent has 8, so they have us on a 3-turn clock. Awaken Inferno's not going to do it. So it looks like we're losing game 1 to control. They're playing the Mind Sculptor. This should just be fate sealing us at this point. But for some reason, they always go for the Brainstorm. My good sir, you have 7 cards in hand. Do you really need the Brainstorm? Sword of Feast and Famine. They play sword. They equip sword. And then they have us on a 2-turn clock. Right? 8, 9, 10. Still a 3-turn clock. Yeah, those all get turned sideways, so we take it. We still have our bridge as an out. They untap everything. We have to discard a Desperate Ritual. Oh no, whatever will we do? Currently, our game plan is hope they don't have a counter spell. Alright, Romancer. This gets countered. Probably. So we can down tick there. They can still just equip. We don't have a way to deal with this Batter Skull. That Batter Skull is just going to run away with this game at this point. Even though we can block for quite a while, they'll be gaining life. We won't be closing this out. Alright, Blood Moon stay in. I need to not punt like I did with that Karn. Chalice seems pretty meh from the aspect of it's really only stopping Opt. But Chalice on 2 is pretty good. So we might shave some of our 2 drops. Although, is there anything that we want? This would stop Burrow triggers. Problem is, then they just have a 3-mana 6/6. That doesn't sound something that we want to have to deal with. Definitely Dragon Claws don't come in. Relic doesn't seem like a terrible card. I don't think we want anything from the wish board earlier than the Karn gets us there. Angers I could possibly see bringing in because they run Snaps, Stoneforges, and... They run Snap, Stoneforges, and Totals. We can do some mass removal. In exchange, shave a Chalice and a Tome. Picking those because they're artifacts, so worst case scenario, we can go grab them with Karn. I would love to take the play. And quite possibly a turn 2 Karn. The problem is that doesn't buy us much. It buys us the Liquimetal coating. We'll see if turn 2 Karn into Liquimetal coating is going to be good enough. They'll need exactly Force of Negation on either this Karn or the... I guess I could have something that isn't Force. Show me the Force of Negation, opponent. No? Cool. Liquimetal, pass turn. Alright. So opponent didn't have a counter spell for this Liquimetal that was about to come down, and then they were going to be on 1 land for the rest of the game. Sometimes turn 2 Karn's good enough. Alright. Run it back. turn 1 Chalice or turn 2 Chandra? We'll try it. Okay, they did a basic island, passing the turn. Mountain there makes me want to go for a turn 1 Chalice on 1. Shh, we'll never be punished. Sure, counter target colorless spell. Interesting that they brought that in. I guess it makes sense. We run enough. They kept a 1-lander too. Jealous on 1. There's an opt in response. They put the card on bottom, they draw, and looks like this Chalice is going to be resolving. Cool. So we have a Torch of Defiance next turn. All right. They kept a hand that they hoped Ceremonious Rejection was going to be good enough. Pretty sure we rush out this Chandra while they don't have. Yes, that's what I want to know, is what is in their hand that made that 1-lander look keepable? Another Ceremonious Rejection and a Force of Negation. Okay, sure. Okay, there's a Mystic Sanctuary. Hey, opponent. Do you have another force? There we go. I kept a 1-lander because it was a double force hand. You can definitely cast your opt. I will not stop you. Yeah. That's how this deck works, right? Moto, please. So we're getting mana flooded while opponent's getting mana screwed. Show me another force. Cool. Turn 7 for opponent. No lands. They got 1 Mystic Sanctuary there. All right, we made half our money back. Let's see if we can't end this league going positive. Onwards to match number 5. Sure, we'll take the play. Turn 2 Pyromancer. In the blind, I don't think this hand's good enough. Well, this hand can't cast any of its spells. Okay. Keep this, bottom of Braid and Chandra. That way we still have a chalice on 1 on turn 2, and then possibly a follow-up on turn 4. Mountain Island Pass. Spell Snare, sure. Okay. So either facing blue-white control or blue-white X control. It's a fairy resolves. Have force opponent. They draw. Interesting choice. So opponent can now go for a cryptic. Blood Moon. That's a card. The problem is this is cryptic mana. If we land, we have 5. We can uptick. Try to chalice on 1. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We could go for the chalice on 2. I'd like to try to counterbait this cryptic right now. And then hope that this Blood Moon gets to happen. Oh, uptick for mana? Yeah. You could uptick for mana, go chalice on 2. Snap Spell Snare. Sounds good. You'll be tapped out of blue mana, which is all that I care about. Blood Moon, you now have 1 blue mana. We're facing Jeskai Control. Okay, they just happen to have other island. Yep, that's gonna go with Chandra. We sadly can't do anything with our Chandra upticks, which makes them real awkward. So we go ahead and just down tick down to 1 to kill off the Snapcaster. Then they bounce Blood Moon. Okay. And they cryptic or gemstone. Sounds good. Or they feel their gemstone. They can go get another basic island and have triple blue. Or Teferi. Mystic Sanctuary, no target. Running into mountains. Hit opponent for 2. And play out Blood Moon. Pass the turn. Well, yes, they can just bounce it again. Cryptic? No cryptic. Okay, they want to bounce our Torch of Defiance here. Meaning they have a counterspell for the Torch coming back into play. Awakened Inferno off the top? I would like to stop flooding. Thank you very much, man. Hopefully I'll be able to pull it off. So we've got 8, 9, 10 of our 20 lands out of the deck. Go for this Pyromancer, draw ourselves some cards. I did indeed say we were going to draw ourselves some cards. You're going to snap force this Maze Mine Tome. Okay, opponent. Opponent apparently didn't like the idea of us casting cards. Okay, and then that gets pathed. Sure, we'll get a mountain. How many lands are left in our deck? We have 6 mountains, 3 voids, 1 cavern. So we've got 10 lands left in our deck. Opponent finally has us on a clock. And then they bounce their Snapcaster. All right. Monkey. I mean, at this point, we play everything we can. Sure. Just double checking. We have the 3 voids, this gemstone caverns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 mountains, 3 voids, and a caverns. Okay. Oh yeah, because we exiled the mountain off of Torch of Defiance. There's a Mind Sculptor. A search for Azcanta. So what are we afraid of from opponent? They already have the Jace. They have Snap in hand. But they don't have blue mana. We'll drop a Chalice on 2. They now can't Frantic Inventory. They can't Snapcaster Mage. They're gonna Brainstorm. There's a uptick from the Teferi. Opts to try to find things. Probably puts whatever on the bottom. Then draws a card. Plays a mountain. They have 4 cards in hand. We really don't know what they are at this point because of Jace the Mind Sculptor allowing them to sculpt their hand. Play out a monkey. Pass the turn. They have path. Sure. Are we going to get to the point where we've played all of our mountains? A brainstorm. Okay, they uptick with the fairy, so they won't lose it when they downtick to bounce either this Blood Moon or this Chalice. All right. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? 16 of our lands have been played? All right, they finally flipped Azcanta into a mountain. They're going to brainstorm with this Jace. Probably bounce this Blood Moon, activate Azcanta, fetch for basic islands. Hold up Cryptic to stop on the next turn. Yep. They have enough to double activate Colonnade? They might. They double activate Colonnade. They don't. Yep. Chalice on 2 is gonna eat that card alive. But Blood Moon, show me your counter magic that I know that you have. Reveals Cryptic. Cryptic counter bounce? Or you just Cryptic counter draw? Cryptic counter bounce. Because now they can counter this on its way back down. Hurrah. Or they just have the Force of Negation. Neat. So we no longer have them locked down. And they have 6 in hand, so they'll finally be able to start killing us. Okay. Double activate Colonnade, hit us for 8. They field our gemstone, sure. Asking a mono red deck how many basics it plays. You should be double activating. So opponent knows that they can activate. Torch of Defiance. They go down to 9, and then they have another Cryptic. No? Dovin's Veto. Neat. As Kanta reveals Cryptic. Ah, there we go. We finally started fate sealing me. And we've gone for the double activation. There we go. Now opponent knows how to kill us. Counter this and we concede and move on. Neat, you used your cryptic command. Alright. Facing blue-white control. None of this we really want in. We just need to not flood out like we did there. What we need to do is we need to find Awakened Inferno. That's our best shot at leaving or winning. The problem is we've got to win 2 games here. We're down a bit on clock. We've still got enough clock to do it. Like, we've got 16 minutes, meaning that the first game took 8. Up. We don't keep this. It's a 1-lander with not enough ramp. Again. Nope. Kind of sort of have to keep. We're keeping 5. Bottom ritual, bottom the void. Get this chalice down early and hope to draw things. Well, there's our 3rd land, meaning just about everything in our deck is now active. Opponent's holding up this Flooded Strand as long as possible in case we have a Blood Moon here. They go fetching, finally. Getting themselves a basic Plains and a Field of Ruin. Time Raveler. Upticks, sure. We'll play it because it's stuff. Again, it doesn't do much against a blue-white control deck. Narset. Are they gonna try to Narset lock us? Reveals Time Raveler. Okay. We'll keep it there and put a stop on our upkeep in case they hit this 3rd, or in case they hit another basic or 3rd blue source. Okay, take a look at the top 4. It didn't reveal anything Removes Chalice on 1. Plays Mystic Sanctuary tapped. Let's scry and see what we see. We love that card. You've got 2 blue. Show me Force of Negation. Yep. Big Terry? Yeah, buddy. We'll scry here. Put Karn on bottom. Try to land Chalice on 2. They opt in response. And they opt again. Alright, Chalice on 2 resolved. Doesn't mean much as they have Teferi. They can just downtick and bounce it. And there's the Mind Sculptor. Fate sealing us. They put the card on top. Problem is, we also already put that card on top. So whatever it is, we like this card. I said that we put it on top. No, we scried and went bottom, and then they scried and did top. So either the card does nothing, or they have the counter spell for it. Hey, thank you very much for the follow, Nicholas. At least I'm assuming that's how you're going to pronounce that. So we could scry here. I'm hoping it's like a land. It's not. It's Karn the Great Creator. Well, try to land a Chalice on 2 here then. See if Chalice on 1, Chalice on 2, and Bridge is enough. Well, they don't like Chalice on 2. Because they can bounce, counter and bounce. Okay. They can now cast 1-mana spells again. We've just about lost this game from the aspect of they've got all of their planeswalkers out and they are fate sealing with Jace. And the problem is they keep putting on top, so I don't want to scry with this Maze Mind Tome. Cool. So we see a seasoned pyromancer. We'll keep it on top. We'll draw that card. Except we won't, because Narset. Planeswalkers are fun, y'all. They field the void, will float a mana. Luckily, that does not stop us from scrying. Problem is this Teferi is gonna come down. Well, okay, yeah. So if they do that, that means that they probably have... Yeah, because that's drawing 3 cards. We never get to this Awakened Inferno. All right. Ended up going 2-3. Definitely could have played that league a bit better. Like, the control matchup I'm just not too familiar with, and then we lost game 1 and lost game 2. I feel the Jund matchup I could have won. I just messed it up. I'm not sure where, but I probably could have won that. And the Goblins matchup, we just didn't get enough removal early enough. Yeah. I mean, Red Prison doesn't feel like it's in a bad spot. You just have to know the ins and outs of this deck in order to get it to work well. And I don't have enough practice playing Prison. I've watched enough Prison to kind of sort of know how to pilot it, but like as you saw, there was a line where Fluffy mentioned where we got Karn, we played Karn, we got Relic, we had a Chalice on 1, so that was stupid of us anyway. But then our Karn was going to die. Instead, if we had gone Karn, uptick with our Maze Mind Tome, kill their Teferi, and then play out our Ensnaring Bridge, that line was a lot better. It left us with 1 less card in our hand. They still would have been able to attack the Karn with their Ice Fang Codals, I think was in that match. But still,